Alright, let's rip some celebrities to shreds today, eh guys? In the wake of the infamous slap incident that happened at the Academy Awards this year, there have been some discussions about if they should strip Will Smith of his Oscar. I think not, especially when you consider how many celebrities still have their Oscars, despite some pretty messed up stuff. So let's get into top 10 celebrities who should be stripped of their Oscars that aren't Will Smith. Because if we're being honest here, some much worse people still hold their awards, and no one's saying anything about that. First on my list is Quentin Tarantino. If we're using a slap as a baseline for warranting revoking an Academy Award, then I think we should take a closer look at the very successful director who's definitely been the subject of some extremely controversial moments. Despite his movies being phenomenal, I think anyone with such a long controversies tab on their Wikipedia page should make the Academy pause all the Oscars coming their way. Tarantino has been accused of overusing racial slurs in his movie despite being white himself. He also had a girlfriend at the time who claimed to have an inappropriate interaction with the disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein. All Tarantino did at the time was go up to Weinstein and demand an apology, despite knowing the disgusting acts that the producer did to Tarantino's ex. He also knew of Uma Thurman's victimhood at the hands of Weinstein, of which he did nothing. There's a quote I would defer to in this situation like this, when someone may think it's not a big deal: silence in the face of injustice is complicity with the oppressor. Next on my list is Russell Crowe. The actor has won the Best Actor in the Leading Role award for the movie Gladiator. Despite that, he's barely in the news anymore because he was so plagued by controversy and is better known for his rather violent temper. He once threw his phone at a hotel employee because he was angry at his phone for not working. We're not sure if he meant to hit the employee, but either way, no adult should have such childlike meltdowns because things aren't going their way. Next up is Sean Penn. Sean Penn is also another actor who has his own controversy tab on Wikipedia. He won Best Leading Actor at the Academy Awards 2 separate times for his work on the movie Mystic River in 2004 and Milk in 2009. That being said, he got into some hot water because of some derogatory comments he made towards men becoming more feminine. Quote, "I think that men have, in my view, become quite feminized. I have these very strong women in my life who do not take masculinity as a sign of oppression towards them. There are a lot of, I think, cowardly genes that lead to people surrendering their genes and putting on a skirt." A lot of people are calling this comment transphobic, especially after he said prior to this, quote, "I am in the club that believes that men in American culture have become wildly feminized. I don't think that being a brute or having insensitivity or disrespect for women is anything to do with masculinity or ever did. But I don't think that in order to be fair to women, we should become them." Ironically, again, he won the Oscar for playing Harvey Milk, a gay rights icon who he may consider to be a feminine man. Next is Morgan Freeman. Despite being a very beloved actor and a man known for his soothing voice, Morgan Freeman has kind of a complicated history with women. 8 separate women throughout his various times on different film sets throughout the years have spoken out about his extremely inappropriate behavior. One woman stated that he made comments on her figure and clothing on a near daily basis and would touch her without asking by resting his hands on her lower back or rubbing her lower back. Another woman stated that Freeman, quote, "kept trying to lift up my skirt and asking if I was wearing underwear. He only stopped when another actor, Adam Arkin, told him to stop." A senior production company employee for the film Now You See Me stated that, quote, "he did comment on our bodies. We knew that if he was coming by, not to wear any top that would show our breasts, not to wear anything that would show our bottoms, meaning not wear clothes that were fitted. Also not to mention that he dated and slept with his own step-granddaughter. Don't meet your heroes, I guess." Next on the list is Casey Affleck. He's won 2 separate Academy Awards, one for Best Actor and another for Best Supporting Actor. Casey has a highly publicized history of being lecherous towards women. One movie he filmed in particular, called I'm Still Here, saw 2 separate women go public with their story of horrifyingly inappropriate moments in which Casey got way too aggressive when these women would reject his proposal to sleep with him. Casey was sued by these 2 women who claimed that Affleck drunkenly crawled into bed with her without her consent while she was sleeping. Another alleged that he grabbed her violently to intimidate her into staying with him in his hotel room. Although Casey denies these allegations, he did suspiciously settle out of court with these women for an undisclosed amount of money, which doesn't really help a bid for innocence. Next up is Jared Leto, who won an Oscar for his performance in 2014 for Dallas Buyers Club. The dude is kind of a creep though. He has been hit with a lot of allegations over the years, including for targeting underage girls. On Twitter, Dylan Sprouse called out the behavior with the tweet, quote, "Yo Jared Leto, now that you've slid into the DMs of every female model aged 18 to 25, what would you say your success rate is?" James Gunn replied, quote, "He starts at 18 on the internet." On the set of the 2016 movie Suicide Squad, Jared was also reportedly method acting and sent Margot Robbie a dead rat, alongside used condoms to other co-stars. It reminds me of this Robert Pattinson quote on method acting, quote, "I always say about people who do method acting, you only ever see people do the method when they're playing assholes. You never see them being lovely to everyone while they're really deep in character." Next on the list is Mel Gibson, who has 3 Academy Awards, 2 for Braveheart and 1 for Hacksaw Ridge. He had a more than 10-year hiatus from Hollywood before filming Hacksaw Ridge because he was basically shut out from Hollywood after he had a DUI in 2006, during which he unleashed an insanely prejudiced rant towards Jewish folks. Following that was a leaked tape in 2010 where Gibson screamed racist remarks at his girlfriend, including the N-word. She later alleged he also hit her during their time together. He was also extremely homophobic and called Winona Ryder a, quote, "dodger" in reference to her Judaism. Despite all of these insane events, Mel returned to Hollywood with basically no repercussions, and we all seem to give him infinite second chances. Obviously, his talent is undeniable. He's a phenomenal director, but others with his talent have also completely disappeared from Hollywood for much lesser charges. So what gives? Next on my list is Roman Polanski. Need I say more? His name is more synonymous with the horrifying acts he's done to a 13-year-old girl than it is with the movies that won him an Oscar. He has 5 Oscar nominations and 1 win in 2002 for his film The Pianist. He was on the lam in the late 70s to different countries after his horrific and brutal act with the He was temporarily arrested in Switzerland by Interpol and cannot go back to America or he will face life in prison. Instead, he lives between France, Switzerland, and Poland, making his movies in Europe rather than facing justice for his crime. And horrifyingly, he is still winning Oscars, as was the case in 2002. The only justice he faced was a house arrest in Switzerland for a few months, and in 2018, he was removed from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. That's it. Second to last on the list is Woody Allen. He's got a ton of Academy Awards for his movies over the years, with his latest being in 2014, despite the extremely public case of him having inappropriately touched his stepdaughter, who was years old at the time and kid to actress Mia Farrow. The accusation came just 8 months after Mia Farrow learned that Woody Allen had a romantic relationship with another adopted daughter they shared, Soon-Yi Previn. Although the allegations are not proven, if we're considering taking an Oscar away for a slap to the face, I feel like we should much more closely examine the dubious people we've decided to let remain in the spotlight. Last on my list is Harvey Weinstein. We all know what he's done. I don't really think I need to go into the horrifying recounts by countless women of his coercing them into non-consensual acts. He has a total of 81 Oscar wins over the course of his production company's movies, but only 1 directly attributed to Weinstein himself for Shakespeare in Love. He was one of the biggest men in Hollywood and a top player. Despite having his status in the Academy revoked and the Academy as a voting party revoked in 2018, Harvey still holds his Oscar. He was enabled for years by the people around him who turned a blind eye to his actions purely due to his status in Hollywood. And now, even after Me Too, he still has the Academy Awards somewhere in his mansion home. Thanks to everyone for watching this video. I don't really like to judge people that I don't know like this, but I feel that some individuals may be beyond help. That being said, I'm always a huge fan of changing opinions, so let me know in the comments down below if I missed anyone or if you disagreed with my list. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos like it. I've been your host, Sierra. See ya.